reactions are just terrible today. I'm so sorry. I'm not married to him anymore. It's so freaking awesome.
Let's get it.
I kind of feel like, in my heart, I just never want to see her again. And I want to spend some time hating her.
Suck it up, Buttercup. Like, Cody's whole expression and his whole reaction towards this divorce and Christine leaving him is utterly ridiculous. He wants so desperately to portray himself as the victim, as the person who's been slighted in this situation, but in reality, as we've seen in the storyline and according to the storyline in the story arc, Cody is indeed the villain. You don't deserve sympathy because you're the one who went to your wives and decided that you were going to have a favorite wife and put a lot of your time, energy, and effort into one household when you actually had four households to attend to. You decided that you were going to take one group of kids that belong to one wife and focus all your time and attention and pour all your love into those kids. Meanwhile, your other wives, quote unquote, wives, children, were supposed to just sit back and be thankful that you choose to give them some spare time when you are between tasks and obligations for your real family. And this is kind of where it becomes very rude. Now, I'm going to kind of go off a little bit on Cody cakes, or as I call them, Cody crab cakes, because indeed the Brown family are full of crabs, people who can't stand to see any of the other members get ahead, and they always try to pull them back down into the bucket. They always want them to live and wallow in the misery that they've created for themselves. So I call Cody the king of the crabs, or Cody is, since he's sweet like cupcakes, but he's not quite delicious, and he certainly ain't a tasty sweet man. He is indeed Cody crab cakes. And so that's what I'm going to refer to him as. And in this particular video, I wanted to kind of address for anybody who's watching it, especially the fellas or parents who are separated from your baby daddies, your baby mamas, husbands, wives, whatever, and you have children, take the opportunity to try to be the mature adult. Recognize that your relationship didn't work out. And even though your relationship didn't work out, there's no reason why you have to try to create a situation where you have a whole lot of animosity towards your ex-partner or the mother or father of your children. There's no reason for it. This is something that plays into the whole Manosphere experience where men are being taken advantage of and they're slighted by the women that they've been with, and somehow men are the victims and they're these oppressed portions of our society. But the truth of the matter is that if you have the benefit of a woman who is willing to travel hours from her home to come meet with you at a restaurant for your convenience so that she can discuss how she can get your kids or the kids you share with each other to you, you are not by any means suffering. You have the damn golden goose. And rule number one to having a golden goose, don't kill the damn golden goose. That's it. And this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Like, when I watched this, it was like, why is he trying to pick a fight? Like, does he know who he's sitting across the table from? Christine is in a situation where she could literally destroy you. She could destroy you. Because all they'll do is they'll say, okay, you guys, the money that you have from Sister Wives, you're mad that she left. And when she left, she took her cut of the Sister Wives money. She can go back, file for child support, and then she'll start dipping in your cut of the Sister Wives money. So not only are you getting her share of the Sister Wife money, but she can start digging into your share of the Sister Wife money. Then because you want to slap your name on everything, Cody, you gonna mess around and all the properties and all the assets that you own will be calculated into your child support. This woman she's sitting there with the keys to the kingdom, brother. And I want to keep it all the way a stack. If you are with a woman like Robin, the last thing you want to do is find yourself in a financial straits. Because the moment you start, like the minute your first check bounce or the first time she's standing in line and that card get rejected, you have divorce papers are coming. Then you really gonna get smashed out because she has 2 young kids with you. And it's just so ridiculous. And there's so much of this I just want to talk about. But before I get into it, I just want to say that if you guys are enjoying the content, go ahead and give a brother a thumbs up. I mean, come on. It's easy to do. Also, leave a comment down below because I like to hear what you guys think. And if you're not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? It's easy to do. It helps the channel out. It helps me out. And hey, who doesn't want to help a brother out? So go ahead and give me that HBO special by clicking the subscribe button and ringing the bell for notifications, and you will be notified when I upload new videos. As you can tell, I'm going to try to upload more videos, even though the algorithm kind of doesn't like it when I do this, but I don't care because I got a lot to say. So I'm going to say what I got to say. In any event, when I'm watching these particular clips and I'm watching the videos and I'm seeing how Cody is treating Christine, especially how poorly he treated her. Because if anything, between the 2 people, Christine and Cody, Christine has more reason to be mad. Christine has more reason to say, you know what? If you want to see these kids, take me to court, sucker. If you want to do this, let's do this. You know what I mean? She has every reason to do that because you drug her out, you smashed her out, you humiliated her, you denigrated her, and then you try to tell her, you told her a whole pack of lies on she can't move and the things she needs to do in order for her to be able to take the kids out of school and take the kids out of the state. And even though you haven't been spending time with the kids when they were 5 minutes away, now all of a sudden she's talking about moving away. And it's imperative that you spend every waking moment with your kids because you miss them and love them so much. And she recognizes that this is a form of control. And it's ridiculous that you would do that. Now, when I watched the retrospective and I went back and I looked at the previous episodes on Sister Wives, I got to tell you that the first thing that really struck me was that during the confessionals and during a lot of the episodes, it occurred to me that while Cody is sitting there and he's trying to think out things and he's talking slow and trying to be real thoughtful with all the things that he's doing and how he wants to proceed, he's in the process of trying to become a thought leader. He wants to become the spokesman for polygamy. He wants to become the man when it comes to this topic. And he saw himself as kind of that in that position. When that position didn't pan out the way he thought it would, he also thought he could get a little sideline. That's why he did Maddie's wedding after he did her wedding and he did his buddy's wedding. He wanted to create a sideline where he was going to start doing the wedding ceremonies and things of that nature. And people would kind of seek him out for these roles. Unfortunately for him, as you watch him do Maddie's wedding and the other speech he did for his friend in season 17, I'm not at the point where I can see Aspen's wedding, so I don't know if he married her or not. But as I was watching this, and I heard his speeches were all about him. They had very little to do with the people who were getting married and the event or the day. So I don't know how you're going to get hired to do this and what person. I mean, you'd have to be an ultra Sister Wife fan in order to hire Cody to come out and do a speech. Because otherwise, you just hearing about Cody talking about Cody and what Cody thinks. And that's not necessarily what you want when you're paying for your special day. So there's that. And then now, what I think his new grift is going to be, and because he kind of mentioned it and floated a few times, and I know his brothers have this Manosphere podcast that they do, is I think he wants to become a thought leader in the Manosphere, where you have a bunch of guys who take a bunch of stereotypical views and call themselves traditional conservatives, and they have these old world thoughts about the roles of men and women and how women should be subservient to men, etc., 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 and how men get screwed over and we're such victims, but at the same time, women are so weak that they need our protection. But when they take us to court, all of a sudden they become, mega villains, and they control all the courts and they control the world, and everything is against men, and men have it so bad. And that's basically, in a nutshell, what the Manosphere offers. So you have a bunch of guys feeling sorry for themselves. And what I see with Kody when he's reacting or talking to Christine is a guy who sits there and feels sorry for himself. Oh, I got sick. Oh, you gotta make sure that you do things for me. And Christine is so nice. Like, this woman is sitting there and she's listening to him. Oh, you want me to bring the kids down? I'm going to come down. I'm going to drop the kids off to you. And then I'm going to go over and I'm going to do some things for myself. And I'm going to bring the kids to you. Blah, 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 blah. And then he tries to take the conversation over to turn it back so that she starts feeling sorry for him. This is him trying to slide his feet in the shoes that used to be so comfortable but don't fit anymore. Christine is not having it. She don't want you, bruh. She don't want you. So a lot of the things that you would have done historically, you can't do anymore. She's not falling into the, oh, he's so cute, or, oh, I'm struggling, so therefore you should feel bad for me. Oh, I feel so bad for you because you don't have life turning out the way you want it to. And that's not what's happening. And so my big message to this situation is just simply, if you are getting along with your ex-significant other and you have kids, there's no reason why you need to turn this into a TV show because you're supposed to be mad at one another. You're supposed to hate each other. You're supposed to disagree to the point where you can't sit down and have a conversation. If anything, the conversations that you need to have need to be about your children. What's in the best interest of your kids, when you can come get them, what's going on with them, are there things I should know? These are things that you should talk about. And if you can have a good, strong, healthy relationship where you can sit down, you show up and you can sit across from each other and have a meal and hug it out and talk about the small talk. How's everything going? How's your boyfriend? How's your wife? How's your, husband? Blah, 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 blah. And you can have that kind of conversation. That's even better. That's even better. Because your kids don't need to know that you guys are arguing this way. What's also funny to me is that, just as a aside, when I was trying to put together my computer with all the stuff so I could go live, one of my first lives that I had planned was discussing the whole adoption debacle between Robin and her ex with her kids from her previous marriage. That, I think, sets the stage. And you can, like, Kody had a front row seat to see what it's like when you're dealing with an angry woman who wants to control the situation and wants to take your kids away. If you want to see what it's like to have a guy victimized by the system, you don't have to look any further than inside your house at your wife, because your wife victimized her ex-husband. How in the world, because I know somebody's going to say, James, you don't understand, there's a possibility that he might have been abusive and he could have been so terrible and she had to take care of the kids herself. Okay, fine. If he's not taking care of the kids, that's no reason to strip his rights away. Maybe you take him for child support enforcement or whatever the case may be, but that's no reason to take his rights away. The only way you take his rights away is if you're concerned that there may be safety issues for your kids when they're dealing with him. And if there were safety issues when it came to him seeing his kids, then there wouldn't have been a time where, as soon as the court order came through and the adoption papers came through, based on the agreement that he had with Robin's attorney, she wouldn't have sent her kids off to go to his house unsupervised, all alone for 2 weeks, so that they could, at the end of summer, so that they could spend time with their father. That wouldn't have been that never would even came up. How are you going to take somebody's kids and they rights to their children, and then at the same time you talking about you don't want to mess up their opportunity to see them? That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense to me. And so because he dealt with somebody and he's dealing with somebody who is brutal like that, who is resentful like that, I think he's transposing those feelings and those experiences onto Christine, as this is the way it's supposed to go. Bruh, you don't have it hard. You're not struggling. Take your win and go home and sit your ass down. That's the best piece of advice I can give you. I've seen situations, because I worked in the court system, I've seen situations where you go down to, you'll be standing outside and you'll see ladies go on to family court, and they'll come out and they'll be crying and upset because they go in for an increase. This guy's paying next to no money. They'll go in for an increase, and the guy will somehow get around paying any more money than he's already paying. She go stand her ass on the bus stop, and he go get into a brand new car. I've seen that. She's out there crying, saying, I can't afford to feed our kids. He said, it's not my problem. Getting in a brand new car with his girlfriend in the passenger seat, his new girl in the passenger seat. I've seen that. I personally know of one situation in particular that I'm well aware of, not me, but family. I'm well aware of the situation where my family member had a child, graduated college, got his degree, got a really good job, bought his child's mother a house. No, I'm sorry, he didn't just buy her a house. He had a house built for her. And then he paid the house off, and he was still paying child support. So I've seen both sides of it. I've seen where the women make out, extra well. And I've also seen many a time where women are being screwed over. I know personally of somebody who had 2 kids and was getting $35 per child a month, $70 a month for 2 kids. There is no way in the world. You can't go to Burger King with 5 people and get a meal for $70. Like, you in trouble. You know what I mean? So the whole idea that Kody is suffering because Christine won't bend and come back and do everything he wants her to do, bruh, that chapter is closed. This is no longer your time. Sorry for the rant, guys. That's my take. I'm James. This has been My Take on Reality, and I'm out. 'Cause I've been living life right like I